At this point, we would like to request our panelists to be on screen. May we call on uh, Dr. Soledad Antonia from the Bureau of International Health Cooperation. We would like also to have Dr. Chester Joshua Saldana to be on screen, and Mom Hannah Margaret Rabaha. Both Dr. Saldana and Ms. Rabaha are coming from the Food and Drug Administration. So let's start the ball rolling. Okay, our first question is directed to Dr. Soledad Antonio. Uh, D- Doktora, meron po tayong tanong, can donating NGOs have the DOH as consignee? What are the conditions? And then the second question, what help or assistance can the Bureau of International Health Cooperation extend to the donating NGO to get the tax exemption? Okay, can we have Dr. Antonia, please?
Yeah, maraming salamat po for the question. Apologies, I'm in transit at the moment. I could not open my video,
Okay lang
but
po.
can you hear me loud? I'm in transit actually.
Okay po.
Pasensya na po. Okay. Um, consignment. Yeah, I also saw in one of the questions what is consignment. Actually, the DOH have consigned and non-consigned donation, right? Now, consigned donations would entail that it's the DOH who's responsible for the taxes, customs clearance. Sorry, did I lose everyone? Sorry, I'm in transit. Sorry.
Okay po,
Yes,
maliwanag po, Doktora.
maliwanag. Especially if we have donations from abroad, international, because it will entails international the customs clearance and the taxes. Actually, we have actually consigned donations where BIHC is responsible for the tax duties, customs taxes. So that's the yes, we have international NGOs also who partners already. We have MOUs with them, and we actually have their donations consigned to the Department of Health. So the start will be really an MOU with an international NGOs with the DOH. Over. Did I answer the question?
Doktora,
Um,
yes, opo.
yes.
Yes, Doktora, meron pong follow-up. What assistance can DOH assist the donating NGO in terms of tax exemption?
Right. We will be the ones asking the DOF for the exemption of the tax as well as the BOC clearance. We will be endorsing them to DOF and Bureau of Customs for the exemption of taxes.
Okay, so yan. So happy po ang mga partners natin that the DOH will be the one helping them in terms of the exemption. Ma'am, ano lang po, we would like also to have another follow-up. What do we mean by consigned donation?
Opo, yun nga po yun. Ang non-consigned donation po sa amin, we require of course the clearance from FDA. Kung titingnan nyo, baka akala ng mga ating partners, napakadami namang bürokrasya na ginagawa. Pero isipin lang po natin, pinoproteksyonan lang po natin ang kababayan natin. That's why we have clearances from different agencies. Ang consigned, non-consigned donation, clearance from the FDA ang aming kailangan. For the consigned donations, ito na po yung clearance from FDA at the same time, meron po kaming endorsement sa DOF and Bureau of Customs for the exemption of taxes and the customs clearance po.
Okay. So, yan. Maraming po salamat, Dr. Antonio. And now, we will be having questions directed to Ms. Rabaha and also for Dr. Sandanya from the Food and Drug Administration. Uh, which processes of the FDA donation clearance application have been adjusted given this situation of ours right now with the pandemic, uh, and reducing the risk of exposure going to FDA? So, are there innovative processes right now being uh, given to those who would want to avail of this clearance application? Ma'am Rabaha, please. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. Before po, the processing time for our clearance is 5 to 7 days. But for now, it's only down to 3 days. And then, before po kailangan yung dalhin yung permit in person with the FDA Action Center, which is actually our receiving arm of the FDA. So now you can submit applications online. So it was discussed po dun sa presentation yung new normal guidelines ni FDA. And then since naka new normal guidelines na rin po, the permit will be released po yung scanned copy para hindi na rin po nila kailangan pumunta ng FDA. So I think that's for nasagot ko po ba, Doc, yung question? Or may na left out pa ako?
Apo. So at least everything will be doing online to reduce apo.
Yes po.
Opo. So available naman po through the website that they can yung processes po na sinasabi niyo po, ma'am.
Yes.
Now,
And Doc, bibigyan ba natin sila ng copy ng presentation?
yes, opo, we will be
Yes.
given a copy of the presentation.
If they are provided with a copy of the presentation, the email addresses kung saan po sila magsasend ng request are indicated there, and as well as yung sa scanning po. So nakalagay naman po doon sa presentation yung emails. Thank you.
Okay, maraming salamat po. Ma'am, gusto ko lang din pong i-raise din yung follow-up question. In terms for custom clearance application for donation, since most processes are now online, yung duration po, when you receive it online, how long does it take na makaka-receive po sila ng response on your side, from your side?
Usually the process po with Center, I'm speaking in behalf of the Center for Food. I don't know po kung ilang days yung kay na Doc Chester. So maybe he can answer after ko po. Is 3 to 5 days. Pero since nagkakaroon po ng bulk sa scanning and releasing, I think dun po ata medyo nagtatagal. If may mga applicants po na nandito sa audience. Ayun po. So 3 days lang po siya ideally.
So mga partners, 3 days lang po. Thank you po, Ma'am Rabaha. Ma'am, meron pa po kaming question regarding of course, there are so many NGOs right now receiving or importing goods. Does FDA have the list of NGOs regularly receiving imports of these donated goods? Meron po ba?
Sorry sir, recipient po ba? Recipient or mga NGOs?
Mga NGOs, sometimes they are receiving donations. So, ang tanong po, meron po bang listahan ang FDA for those NGOs na regular na nagpapa-import o nakaka-receive ng mga donations? So, ma'am, yun po. Yes, do you have a list?
Meron po, pero for now parang ilan lang yung mga applicants namin na NGOs. Nung chinek ko yung participants, pwede ko naman bang sabihin siguro yung kung sino yung usual naming applicants or yung nakaka-receive. Yung mga usual po nag-a-apply sa FDA is sina ICM, International Care Ministries. I think nandito po yung isa nilang representative. Si Convoy of Hope po. Madalas din siya a-apply with ng FDA clearance
Okay.
for food items po ito.
Okay. Marami pong salamat. For Dr. Antonio, Dr. Uh, Soledad Antonio, Ma'am, are you still in?
Opo, opo.
Okay. Ma'am, we know that NGOs are being partnered in terms of medical mission. Do NGO doing medical mission need to have a license to operate for dispensing medicines during their medical mission?
Ah, nagpa-partner po kasi tayo with an LGU, especially lalo na kung saan po gagawin yung medical, surgical, dental missions. Ganito, pag lalo na pag may mga foreign doctors, foreign surgeons, foreign dentists, kailangan po kasi na meron din actually sa LGU naka-oversee or on top na medical, surgical or dental overseer sa LGU. Kasi lalo na po, kaya kailangan may clearance din po yung mga gamot. Clearance from FDA. Kaya may gamot na kailangan sila from FDA. Kasi nga yung protection po natin, baka mamaya kasi po hindi registered dito sa atin. Kasi once naman po na-clearance naman si FDA doon sa lahat ng gagamitin, doon sa na mga gamot na gagamitin, even mga kung um, devices ba or kung meron silang dala, parang ganon. Nakaantabay po si LGU po doon. Sila po ang mag-oversee kasi talaga noong medical, surgical, dental mission.
Opo. So, Doktora, if ever they will be needing some support, perhaps there are, kumbaga, section po from your office that could help them to have these papers needed or to coordinate kung meron po silang mga donated goods.
Padadaanin po din natin ang clearance ng lahat ng donated goods from sa FDA po.
Opo, opo. Maraming po salamat. We have this question from Ned Villanueva. We believe in breastfeeding, but bottles may be able to help moms whose children have cleft lip or cleft palate. So why refuse them as donation? Are there options for reconsideration for denied donations? Siguro po, these two questions, so siguro on the part of the DOH, considering po, and even we can also hear insights coming from the FDA, yung uh, yung bottles po na dinodonate na for those children who have cleft palate, so why refuse them as donation? If ever, what will be the process na this could be considered uh, as part of donation, especially for cleft palate babies, for infants?
Siguro po magsisimula po muna ako, pero maganda siguro dagdagan po ni na Ma'am Hana at saka ni na Dr. Chester, no?
Opo.
Ano po ang principles natin? Bakit hindi po tayo nag-ano ng... Well, of course, we advocate talaga po ang DOH ng breast milk. Marami po talagang nagdo-donate, lalo na kung may disaster ng mga formulas, milk formulas.
Opo.
Meron po kasi tayong studies kasi totoo naman, alam naman po na natin na ang breast milk is more superior sa nutrients and everything compared to milk formulas. Ngayon, meron po kasi tayong studies, especially sa disasters. Kung meron po kasing donated milk formulas, tapos po bottled water ang ginagamit natin para sa mga bata, hindi nagbe-breastfeed ang mga mommy, especially sa disasters. Minsan po kasi ang nagagamit pa na tubig para doon sa pagtimpla ng milk formulas, lalong nakakadagdag kasi nagsisimula lalo gastroenteritis na mabilis kumalat sa disaster-prone areas. Kaya, opo, masakit po sa amin na talagang tatanggihan ang milk formulas and bottled water, milk bottles pag lalo na disaster-prone areas. Ngayon, maganda siguro din po na makapagdagdag si Ma'am Hana, Dr. Chester, doon sa bakit ganun po ang ginagawa ng gobyerno ngayon.
Okay. Can we hear from the FDA, please?
Thank you, Dr. Antonio. Actually, yung pinrovide po ni Dr. Antonio na grounds or basis kung bakit po natin hindi ina-accept as donation yung mga milk bottles, infant formula. Ganun din po yung sa FDA. I mean, that's the reason behind po kung bakit hindi na-draft po yung itong ating Administrative Order 2020-001 is na napasama po siya as grounds for denial. But if it's urgent, I think we can build siguro a policy or rather guidance siguro for donors or beneficiaries if yung case po is urgent or badly needed. So baka po pwede silang mag-request yung mga parents po, or guardians ng children with cleft palate to consult feeding specialist kasi as ang alam ko po kasi may special na bottles or nipples yung needed for what do you call that, for children, para may special na bottles or nipples na kailangan for children with cleft palate. If maybe they could provide us a justification kung bakit po kailangan, and yung justification po is in the form of what do you call that, advice from a feeding specialist. Baka po pwede nating i-consider.
Opo.
Pero yun po, very clear naman po yung sinabi ni Dr. Antonio na we're also avoiding yung negative incidents na mangyari.
Okay. Ma'am, follow-through question lang. Since you mentioned about the negative effects, no, if ever there will be negative effects to the recipient of the donation, kanino po, especially for our partners, NGO, kanino po sila lalapit directly? Since these are donated goods, they need to uh, get assistance from the DOH or from the FDA regarding this?
Negative if food po or medicine yung product natin?
Uh, uh, any po. Like for example, for medicine, kung meron pong mga bad effects or side effects for the recipient being given during medical mission. So, paano po ang proseso na if paano po, how the DOH and the FDA can help them in terms of airing their grievances on the side effects?
I think Dr. Chester can answer po dun sa if may negative effects po yung donated na medicine or drug products.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, everyone. With regards to the products, so that's why I specified a while ago that every product should have a shelf life of 12 months and of good quality. So we try to avoid any adverse event during or with everything that has pharmaceutical products intended for donation. So we try to minimize or avoid any adverse event reaction. So kaya po ini-ensure natin upon review before giving out a clearance or CPR for the pharmaceutical products ay kailangan po talagang na-secure po yun. Then we also make sure na meron po tayong counterpart products or pharmaceutical products registered here in the country. At tapos kinlarify ko din po yung certificate of product registration. So from the regulatory agency. Kasi nga po, meron po tayo talagang mga hindi ma-review o makita po regarding that. So yun po yung parang somehow we rely on those documents. But then for any adverse event, you may report it to the FDA if need arise. Thank you.
Okay, marami po salamat, Dr. Chester. Uh,
Sir, pwede lang po ako
yes,
magdagdag.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please, please.
Opo. Kanina po sinabi ko po na pinoproteksyonan naman natin yung mga kababayan natin ng tatanggap ng ating mga tulong at saka donasyon.
Opo.
Doon po sa sinabi ni Dr. Chester, actually protection din noong mga donors, yung mga bureaucrasya. Yung bang ang haba naman ng checklist nyo, ang haba naman ng proseso nito, ang haba naman. Kaya lang protection din po kasi doon sa donor yon, tama? Ngayon, ano po ang pwedeng mangyari? Kung hindi tayo dadaan doon sa proseso na yon, posible kasi na tama may mga negative effects. Paano kung may habla? Paano kung merong naging critical? Ayon. Kaya itong mga itong ginagawa natin, protection ito po lahat. Ngayon, kung just in case lang naman po na talagang magkakaroon ng negative effects, lahat po naman ng Pilipino ngayon under the Universal Healthcare Law ay miyembro po ng PhilHealth. Kaya pwede po, kung ano man mangyari, pwede po dadalhin nga naman natin sa ospital. Tapos po, at member ng PhilHealth talaga, Universal Healthcare, yan po ay mandato. Kaya po, matutulungan din naman po tayo ng PhilHealth sa hospital na accredited na tayo ay kung meron man negative effect doon sa PhilHealth, at least mababuffer po tayo. Actually, prevent po natin lahat dito, lalo na kung may magalit, just in case na magkakahablahan. That's the worst scenario. Pero sana hindi po. Alam naman natin, gusto lang natin tumulong sa ating mga kababayan. Kaya sana maintindihan nyo din po kami. Akala nyo ang dami lang po naming checklist para sa gobyerno talaga. Ganyan. Yun lamang po ang aming ipakikita doon sa sitwasyon na ito. Thank you po.
Okay. Maraming salamat po. We will be entertaining one question. In terms of donation, considering na meron po tayong pandemya ngayon, and there are so many medical missions ongoing, meron po bang like for example, can the donee, yung mga nagdo-donate po, can directly connect to the NGOs kung kanino po gusto nilang ipadaan, o mismo yung NGO po mismo ang magdi-distribute, o will the NGO advise the donors to please coordinate first to the Department of Health or to the Bureau of Food Administration? So paano po ang diretso po ba agad sa partners muna, o yung partners sasabihin nila na kumonsulta muna kayo sa DOH, kumonsulta muna kayo sa BFAD, baka yung i-donate nyo sa amin ay magkaroon ng problema. So how we will proceed with this? Anyone from Dr. Antonio, Dr. Chester, Mr. Bah can comment on this question, can answer this question.
Yeah. Sorry hindi ko baka pwedeng sumagot muna si na Ma'am Hana at Sir Chester. I'll susunod lang ako doon sa sagot niyo. Pasensya na kasi
ulitin ko po, so para
Diba?
Opo, meron pong mga donors tayo sa ibang bansa, is because of this pandemic, of the crisis that we have, they want to donate. So how do we advise them? Will they go directly po sa NGO as their partner, or they will need to coordinate first with the Department of Health to the Bureau of Food Administration regarding their donations? But if these are medicines, if these are food, para malaman din nila from their end na how to speed up the process para hindi po magkaroon ng burden sa mga NGO partners who will be receiving this donation.
Opo. Ah, ah, so, ganito po ang mangyayari. Ang BIHC po ang window for the international donors, kung tutuusin po. Kaya maganda, yung talagang madalas na nagdo-donate, nagre-require na nga po kami ng mga MOUs with them.
Okay.
Opo, yan. Kasi nga po, binigay kanina ni Ma'am Hana yung mga checklist.
Apo.
Kasi yan po yung mga requirements, lalo na kung may isi-ship na international donations. Kaya lang po, bago i-ship yan, kasi nga, madugo po yan pag hindi po approve ng FDA, wala pong mga clearance. Kasi po, yan po ay matetenga sa customs, hindi mailalabas. Pag yan po mag acquire po yan ng storage fee. Hindi yan makakalabas ng customs kahit ano pong namin endorsement, lalo na kung walang clearance from FDA, or yan po ay madedemurahe. Ang mahal po ng demurahe. Ngayon po, baka magkaroon pa, yan yung sinasabi ni Ma'am Ham na kanina, baka lalo pang magastosan yung donor, which is nakakahiya. Kasi nga po, ikaw na nag-donate, ikaw pa gastos ng, lalo na kung bulto yan, baka ang ma-abandon pa siya, baka milyon ang abandonment fee niyan. Kasi nga po dahil doon sa storage fee doon sa customs. Kaya if possible sana, bago i-ship dito sa atin, tapos lahat nung yung checklist natin, yung checklist na binigay kanina ni Ma'am Hana. Yun po ang unang entry point, international donations.
Okay po. Ay nako we would like to hear. Maraming salamat Dr. Antonio. Can we hear from the FDA, Dr. Chester or Miss Rabaha on this matter?
Good morning. So, ganun din po. So, everything has to go through the DOH. So, kaya po talagang ni-emphasize ko din po kanina namin po yung Hana na the letter of endorsement should be secured first. So, na-screen na po sila kung talaga po ay appropriate or in accordance with the WHO guidelines po, yung mga idodonate nating mga pharmaceutical products, foods, or devices. Thank you po.
Opo, maraming po salamat. I think our partners at this point, considering our situation of the pandemic of COVID, definitely the things that you have shared will really guide them in terms of they are the recipient also of the medical missions. Uh, I know na ito pong guidelines natin for all our partners would like to inform them that the guidelines, even the presentation given by our speakers, our panelists, will be shared to you. Uh, uh, okay. One more question before we conclude. Coming from the Jos Mabalos po Foundation from Meds Villanueva. At this time of the pandemic, our donation or imports for cancer medicines from India or medicines for specifically for myasthenia gravis from Pakistan disallowed or any condition po coming from these medicines from India and Pakistan. Perhaps Dr. Antonio can give us light on this matter.
Right. Kung maaari ko po, ay kasi nanghihilang po naman kami ng clearance dito from FDA, kina Ma'am Hana. If
Opo.
possible, na sila muna ang tanongin namin.
Okay
Pero
po. Sige po.
basta't kailangan po natin, bakit naman natin pipigilan? Pero sina Ma'am Hana, I think ang authority for that.
Yes, po Dr. Chester, Ma'am Hana on this on donated cancer medicines from India and Pakistan. Disallowed.
For cancer medicines, as long as there is registered counterpart in the country, so yun po yung ruling natin. Kaya po nilalagay po natin, it should have been registered and it entered the Philippine National Formulary. Now, there may be adjustment or exemption for that. So, meron naman po tayong leeway, kumbaga, na ina-adjust din naman po natin. But then for pharmaceutical, the ruling is kailangan po registered din.
Okay. Okay, Miss Hannah, would you like to add?
Sorry sir, nasa ang question po tayo na wala po ako eh. Nagkaroon ng
Ah,
power interruption, sorry.
Opo, yeah, regarding po yung mga goods or cancer medicines from India and Pakistan, disallowed po. Uh, if ever there are donations, considering that we have this pandemic, we are receiving medicines. If the medicines are coming from India or Pakistan, bakit po kung madi-disallow po sila?
I think sir, Dr. Chester should answer that po. If
Okay.
it's regarding medicines po from India.
Okay. Nagbigay na po si Dr.
Okay po.
Chester. Opo. So, our partners now, since we have given this insight, so for, again, gusto ko lang po i-repeat for all donations, if you will be receiving, try to go with the guidelines set by the FDA and even the guidelines set by the Department of Health. And all these guidelines will help us to receive donations from outside from outside NGO partners, hindi po sa Pilipinas, so they can really smoothly process everything if they will be coordinating to the proper authorities. The proper authorities, again, dalawa po for our donations. Let's no, don't forget the FDA and then the Department of Health. So there are so many questions po sa chat box. As much as we want to entertain them, the organizing committee is now documenting your questions, and after this conference, we'll try to contact you. And if there are still questions, you can still connect with Vitamin Angels so that we can help you to direct these questions to the proper authority. At this point, so since we don't have much time for to continue this session, we'll be having first a group photo on this session one. So I want you to please, if you're on screen, no, Ma'am Ayan, they can be on screen. Yes. Oh, please open your cameras so that we can, so we can take picture and memories po that we have participated. So
Doc, can we all ask them to do gallery view?
yes, opo. We would like to request everyone to please go to the view and choose gallery, no, the gallery, so that there are so many people will be on screen. And we'll be having two panels. So the first panel will be taken by Ma'am Ayen. Are you the one taking the picture? Okay, just put your thumbs up when you're done.
Waiting for a few more to turn on their camera.
Okay. Can you kindly turn on your cameras, please?
Yes, we'd love to see your beautiful faces. We've missed you a lot during this time. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, ready on three. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. 1, 2. Smile.
Okay, can we move to the next panel, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Still have a few more who hasn't turned on their camera, but I think we can go. Okay, 1, 2. Smile, everyone. Thank you. We're really happy that you're with us today.
We're not yet through. Don't forget, we're not yet through. We would like to remind everyone we'll be proceeding to the plenary so that we'll be seeing also some of the panelists in session 2. So that if you have any questions, then we can throw directly our questions to them using the chat box. So are we now moving? Can we now leave the room, Ma'am Ayan?
Not yet, no. Don't leave the room, sir.
Oh, okay. Again, at this point, we'd like to remind everyone this is the second day of our conference. We have still another day tomorrow. And please finish this conference because there are lots of information that we want to share with our partners regarding how we can improve our program when it comes to partnering with vitamin A and other authorities, particularly from the government and the other private sectors. Okay. Um, while waiting before we are directed to the plenary, we would like to remind everyone. Now we have the monkey survey at the end of this session. At the end of this conference, we would like to encourage everyone to please do the survey, and the survey are very important to us primarily, and how we may be able to communicate better and improve the future activities of the vitamin angels. Okay. Uh, Again, we would like to thank our panelists for this session, the strengthening private partnership with the government. Marami pong salamat, Dr. Antonio, for sharing your insights on this matter. Dr. Joshua, uh, uh, Dr. Joshua Saldana, sorry po, no, maraming salamat, and Miss Hannah Rabaha. So yun, we'll still have the plenary. So don't turn on, don't leave the room. Okay. Again, we are assuring that every presentation that we receive from our speakers will be shared to you. This seminar is recorded po, so you can still view it, no, within a month, no, so that if you want to go back and be refreshed of the information that you have received from this conference, you may do so.